The meeting to order. And have people been
briefed on the minutes?
gone through the minutes? From last
From last week. Or
July 19th,
2 weeks, yeah.
actually.
Yeah, so how'd I second a thing if I'm not even, wasn't
No,
even?
because we didn't have a
We
meeting.
didn't have a meeting last
Oh,
This
so
is
the
two
minutes.
meetings before. We
Oh,
didn't have a
okay.
quorum, but we still listened to some stuff.
Yeah. Did you have a chance, Andy, to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one in there. What's going on?
Do I have a motion to accept the minutes from July 19th?
We'll make a motion.
I second.
Any discussion on any of them?
So
All
our
those in
next
favor?
thing is, yeah.
Aye.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've done the minutes and we're doing the bills. And we have a visitor. Russ, how are you?
So did you get the report from Nancy going out there on Thursday?
I have not seen anything
Okay,
from
I
her from
haven't either.
Thursday.
Okay.
It usually takes her a little bit of time to
No,
write
which is
that up.
fine, yeah.
But yeah, so basically I asked Emily, or Emily suggested that I get on your agenda here, just so I can let you know what the zoning committee has been doing in terms of looking at possibilities for getting more use out of our town forest, and wanted to hear from you what ideas you might have.
Now, did you and Nancy go out again this past Thursday?
No, Nancy was out alone this past Thursday. She's been out. I believe this is her third visit.
Okay. Because I did read one report that she.
Yes. She and I had gone out in the spring. She'd come back for a second look and wrote up that report, which is 9 or 10 pages and includes some maps.
We've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, so I think you've seen that. She's been out once, I believe once more since then.
Last
Continuing-
Thursday, she said she was going out,
Continuing
yeah.
the process of doing the forest inventory. What she sent, the initial thing that she sent, she calls that her reconnaissance report. So that's a brief report from a quick walkthrough to, some things that are there. The next step, as I understand it, is to do an inventory, which is to see how many acres of what kinds of trees or stands of trees there are. And the final thing that she can do, and she can do this without charge to the town as part of her responsibilities as the county forester, just to write a management plan.
Which is nice.
Yes, that's very nice. And that if you had to hire Charlie Hancock, because I hired Charlie Hancock to do a management plan for my woods, and it costs some change.
Yeah.
So she and I have definitely traded some ideas, and she has some ideas in the reconnaissance report about sort of next steps. One thing potentially is to hold some sort of a public meeting on the subject of the town forest, so we can make sure people who live in Berkshire know what's there, and we can hear from people what they think might be worth doing with it. Definitely, I think people who lived in town long enough sort of know where it is. I'd never been in the town forest.
Most people don't. That's the sad part.
Right.
So I think it'd be lovely to have a sign there. I don't think it needs to be much of a sign, but Berkshire Town Forest, and Enosburg has that, and their town forest. Putting in just a little bit of a parking area for a couple of cars. I suspect that is something that the road crew could do pretty straightforwardly. There could be parking right at the road, or it would be possible to put in gravel and go
Well, that's
in.
a right of way though, right?
Yes, there's a right of way.
It is a right of
I think
way,
it's a
yeah.
50-foot right of way.
I don't know if we should go down in the wood, like have the right of way, but have the parking like when
I
you
don't
get
think we can
down
put the
in.
parking up on there. It would be putting it on someone else's
It's
land.
just like,
that we put-
just meaning you have the driveway and then cut
Right,
out some
so
trees
either,
and put it in.
either way, and that's a
But
decision.
you don't need it for too many cars.
Yeah, that's a
right?
decision to be
Whose land
made.
is it?
Yeah.
I don't know who owns it.
Friat and who's on the other side? I'm not sure. Well, we'd have to look that up. But,
Yeah, so either parking at the road or parking in on the town
But still
forest
have to make
itself.
that driveway
You'd
still,
have to
'cause it's our
build
right
a,
of way,
build a
yeah.
driveway in. It's a straight shot, there are big trees on both sides. There used to be, historically, there's been vehicle access there, you can tell, but it needed to get cleaned up and it needs some truckloads of stone. So, possibility, so sign parking, Nancy says there's plenty of deer browse pressure on the reproduction of the hardwood trees, and encouraging deer hunting in there would be entirely appropriate. It's my idea that I think we could have a page in the town report saying, here's the town forest, here's some ideas, here's who to chat with, here's how to find it. I would be willing to be volunteered to, write up 3 paragraphs for the town report if that was something that you chose to include there. I think, in terms of public use, the thing that would really get people interested in going out there based on looking at Enosburg's town forest and some other towns would be to have some sort of a loop trail or a couple of trails in there. Trails aren't expensive to build, but it takes some skill to lay it out, which Nancy can help us with. And, but it takes some chainsaw time and labor. Potentially.
And that's where we thought with the, you know what I mean? The
Cold Hollow.
The Cold Hollow
Yes.
forestry, because it's
Yes.
something for them.
Right.
And we do have, some.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nancy's forestry suggestions is likely to include in parts of the forest what she calls a rehabilitation cut, which is a cut that doesn't produce any real income now, but it increases, you're altering the forest composition in some ways that may increase the future value.
So it's kind of like cleaning out things that.
I'm not a forester, and I'd let her speak
Well,
to that.
Must be
But-
she's thinking of bringing, like a maple tree or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of just junk trees.
Okay. Yeah.
So she can give us more details on that in terms that could be translated to what you pass on to a forester or a high school crew, and potentially any logging that is done, any cutting in there can be designed to lay out skid roads that can then be used as part of the trail network.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
you're looking to do some planning there, in terms of that.
So let them know that's what our plan is. When they go in there, they can do some of that.
Yeah. So, it would take talking to the high school, book department and saying, I know they have some equipment and they have some interest in that, but their time each day is pretty limited. But there's some potential there.
When, as you were talking, I was just thinking of, you said deer hunting and I thought them putting in trail, walking trails and stuff like that. Could they coexist? Or, I mean, it's,
I don't think you want to advertise a deer hunting.
Well, if you do think deer
they
hunting like this year or the next year before you put
But
the
these guys
trails
get
in,
too serious, next thing they're arguing with one
if you do a
another.
couple of years of deer hunting, because these trails aren't going to go in until we start to weed out
Yeah.
the bad, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure.
This is going to take a while.
Yeah.
And then, on the long trail, I'm involved with the Green Mountain Club.
Yeah.
On the long trail, hunters and hikers coexist. We educate people using the trail as a walking trail that during deer season, this is a really good time to wear some orange, keep your dog on a leash, and be friendly to the hunters, because we're all
That's all with
using
the
same
signs we're
land.
going to put out there.
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good.
So there's,
Because 100 acres, that's a lot of room for both.
Yeah.
And I'm a walker and a hunter, so.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good to see something happening,
Yeah,
because it's sat there for a long time.
yeah.
And I think we've logged it a couple of times, and that's about it. What's happened, so that's good. We had thought at one point too, or discussed about having maybe if the school was interested in doing something.
What was our liability? We talked about this before.
Yeah, we did. It's there, there is some liability. If you are gonna send the school out there, you would have the school sign a waiver that they're responsible for anything, if the kids go out there, the school signs a waiver that says it still falls under the school liability instead of us. There's little things like that you can put out there. You know what I mean? Signs that say, but yeah.
Yeah, but.
There
you know,
is some liability, obviously, but,
Schools use outdoor
yeah,
classrooms.
yeah. So it's
They
just,
might just have to sign.
yeah,
Yeah.
they already sent me a lot of the waivers that you could just put out there for people.
I think I'm guessing it's just far enough that you really have to bus a class
Yeah.
over rather than have them walk.
And
over,
they have
which
the
is-
forest over here that they use, so I don't know if they
Yeah.
really would go over there,
Yeah,
because I don't know how much they have out here. It's quite a bit.
Yeah. I've just been in it during Halloween,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the haunted forest.
yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. So, and you said the planning commission is kind of discussing this also?
yeah.
Okay.
This is, as you know, checklist of things that we worked through. One of the things was the town forest, and that interested me, so
Yeah, okay.
I volunteered to make the contact with.
Because it is part of
with
the
Nancy.
plan.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. It
the
is.
town
So,
plan, yeah.
so I let Margot know that I'd be
Yeah.
coming down here, and I'll report back to that committee.
Okay.
um,
So our
after this.
the next step would be that we
Put a sign up.
sign up?
Sign and parking.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah, because we're just waiting for Nancy Patch to
Okay.
give us her report, yeah, and
Okay,
kind of
so
go
we get
from
her
there, yeah.
report and then go from there. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as you said, she can go through and,
we'll contact
Guys.
Cold Hollow
Yeah.
Forestry if
Yeah.
she thinks there's a need for them to come out and do
Yeah.
their stuff.
I don't think
That's our
I don't
next
think
step.
Nancy, getting everything from Nancy is going to be fast, because she has
There's a lot,
she
yeah.
has a lot of responsibilities,
But, yeah.
but she's good.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know, she understands multi-use forestry.
Yeah, I've been to the Eastburg Park.
Yeah.
It's good. I've snowshoed in there too, so
yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Which is-
That's good.
So that's the next thing we could actually think about was, you know what I mean, they set up them, of course, the school does have snowshoes that they rent out, but, you know, a place that you could actually rent them. and,
Right, yeah.
You know, things like that, so
That's
that'll
about
be the
correct.
next step.
Yeah. Get it done first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Montgomery has, I remember seeing someone writing a grant, I'm not sure they got it, for a snowshoe sort of lending library. Like
Yeah.
Enosburg has kayaks and canoes.
Yeah.
Down at the Brownway, along the Brownway trails.
Yeah.
And you can, for free, you don't even have to live in Enosburg, you can get the key and take one of the, one of
Like
the boats
Richford
and
has
use
the
it for
bikes.
day.
They have a
Richford
bike
has
center
bikes,
that you
yes.
can rent
Yeah.
bikes, anybody
Yeah.
can, yeah.
You know,
Well,
so we
for
can-
no charge, but you can, yeah. So there's gotta be some way that we can do, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So, any questions, let us know, and I'd love to see you guys dive right in on the, the sign and parking
Yeah.
as a way to get the ball rolling at that end.
Yep, no, that sounds good.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
'Cause it's good to see you get the ball rolling.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll wait for Nancy, but we can do some of the stuff, right?
Yeah.
I feel terrible. I've lived in town for 28 years. I've been here 27 years before I ever set foot in the forest. So.
Well, I know it was there, because
I knew it was there. I had
I had to
to, look on a
do
map
some
to see exactly where.
inspections along that road, so I thought, oh, yeah.
I didn't
this
know
is
where the
good.
right.
Yeah,
of way-
it's pretty
I didn't know where
squared
the
off.
right
I
of
don't know
way
exactly
is.
where the right of way, but I know it's out back there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to get in there and mark it. Nancy hasn't done any marking.
She has,
She has
yes.
flagged the entire boundary
Okay.
with pink surveyors
Yeah.
flagging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the same as blazing it,
Well,
but
yeah, it's a start.
But just an idea of where it
You know.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
it'd take me an afternoon to go out, follow the blazes, follow the flagging and
Yeah.
blaze it real good with red paint or
Yeah.
anything we wanted.
Oh,
So
that's good.
if you want that done, buy me the red paint.
On a nice day.
Yeah, yeah, fall's
Or during
coming.
hunting season.
Guys, spring and fall is the
Okay.
best time when the leaves are off.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
I put in a couple of days in along the long trail on the Green Mountain Club's boundaries. Some of them land up around North J.
Yeah.
And I tell you, there's some deer hunting up there. But as soon as the leaves fall,
Yeah.
go out with a bucket of paint and you can
See, yeah.
See, straight through, yeah.
Yeah, what a difference once all the grass is dead and stuff, you could,
yeah.
Yeah.
This
That's
time
a
of year
seed.
it's hard.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Russ.
you very
Great,
much.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Russ.
Okay, next on our agenda is the village designation, and we talked about it at our last meeting. That was not a meeting, and we had a presentation by Zoom.
Which
And-
actually was pretty good
Yeah.
because it doesn't put us in any position
No,
of
no,
anything, but.
No, it's just like you belong to the club and
Right.
And if
if
you
you
wanna do
wanna
something, you
participate, you
can,
can,
and
if
you
not.
don't.
And
So
it's
I,
something that the planning commission has talked about doing, but it's, correct me if I'm wrong, it is, individuals can apply for grants
Grants,
to
yes.
fix up historic buildings that they own in designated village areas.
yeah, it's
The
not
town has
us
nothing
that
to
does
do
it,
with
yeah.
It's
they
just
give
the town
them
has
tax
to.
breaks and.
Yeah.
And if nobody
grant.
takes advantage of it, it still doesn't make a difference. It's
Right.
like you're still in the good and,
They said a lot of towns sign up for this, but never do anything with it.
and it doesn't fault you one way or the other, so it,
So it's good.
uh-huh.
So Andy and I were,
Yeah, I was
Once
gonna
here.
say, I do have the printout for it.
Oh, I
If,
have it.
Well, that's, you talked about it a couple
Yeah.
weeks back.
yeah.
I'm just thinking, yeah, it doesn't hurt either way.
Yeah, my only concern was, because there is some things that you have to do to get it going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my only thought. Do you mind doing that, or?
No, it's fine. Just not this week.
No, that,
Yeah.
No, I'm only kidding. No, I don't mind
deadline
because
anyway,
I've
is there?
looked through everything and it really isn't that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's actually simple and there's a lot of people like Emily Clough is gonna help do
And then-
regional planning.
oh,
So, you know, she, you know, it's gonna make it as simple as possible for us to do this,
okay.
which
The
is
regional
great.
planning, one of the people are here, and she kind of ran the Zoomy thing.
Yeah, because she said, don't worry about it. I can
Yeah, she can do it
help
all.
you do all of this. You know, we'll do it together. Yeah.
So, any questions about this village designation? Do we have a motion that we apply for it?
Yeah,
Second?
yeah,
Yeah. All those in favor?
yeah.
Yep.
All right, so Danny's not here. Like,
What kind
So
of,
I can tell you what he's doing.
yeah,
He's putting
putting
the culvert in down here.
there.
is they still down there?
The
It's put in
excavator's there with
now.
cones, so I think they've done
Down
one
there,
now. Or-
No, down here by
down
the
here.
trailer.
Oh, they were over there when I left at 4 on Berkshire Center Road, just,
Well, yeah, it's
Right in
right,
the trailer.
it's
There's
right
nobody
over
here.
here.
Yeah, yeah, right by the
It's down the
trailer,
hill,
by
yeah.
Goodrich's.
Yeah.
oh, well, I'm sorry, to me, that's over there.
No, no,
Well,
well,
if you go out the
That's center-
driveway here, it's just right
Like-
here.
probably,
That's
yeah,
Center
just down
Hill.
there. Yeah,
There are no people there.
Yeah, but it's on the center road, right over there.
No, they were
Over there,
over
it's back to
here.
the school.
Oh, okay.
It's down in front of,
Okay, you guys are, yes, you're right.
we're right.
yeah.
So my next thing was this highway supplement use, but I can't do anything if Danny's not here because we have the $30,000 in highway supplement that was left over from last year. They gave it to us because they didn't give anybody grants last year because of COVID. They gave, and it's like 32,000, sorry, but I thought
Could we use that for blacktop or no?
you can roll it over next year and put it into blacktop, but he wanted to change a culvert on Center Hill that he wanted to look to get a grant for, and I was gonna ask him how much that was gonna cost, because we could use that 32,000 to change that culvert if that's what he needed. But it can only be used for highway, but you can roll it over next year and we can put it in for blacktop, absolutely.
Is there a deadline on it?
Nope, it was just given to us, but it has to be used for highway use.
Claude Shannon really liked his road blacktop.
I bet
Yeah.
he would.
I told him I'd bring it up.
Okay, we will discuss next meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Tell them it's on the agenda, yeah.
What's his road? What road's he going?
Marvin.
Marvin Road.
You want the whole thing?
I leased his driveway.
Driveway?
Oh,
Yeah, Lisa driveway.
Yeah.
Someone just got their driveway done. Oh, Dorothy.
Oh, yeah, I see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Dorothy Leach down here
I
on
wonder-
Marsh.
Oh, and
Jason Doe.
Jason
Yeah.
done his, and
Mike McAllister right down here
Yes,
had
yeah,
his
I see
done,
that.
yeah.
and
My nephew did his, and it was quite a stretch, and it was only $7,000.
Billy and Monica did their driveways all done.
Really?
I'd like to see what it
Holy
would cost them to do
smokes.
mine.
Yeah, dirt road, they pull off a
Yeah,
nice
it was a
blacktop
range
driveway
of
under the
comes
dirt
down
road.
there.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a driveway, if you if you don't abuse it, it should last
Right,
forever.
Yeah, just have to put
Yeah,
coating on it or something.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still at the clerks, was that the clerks?
Yeah, okay,
Oh.
so my next thing is as you guys see, the last few months, you guys have paid me out things that I've had to pay for. Like, this time was $200. So I thought that, you know what I mean, like, still use our own account, but go down and get a debit card to use for these purchases, because a lot of them are actually, and not that I mind, but I just don't like the fact that it shows you guys
Yeah.
paying me $100 one week, and because I'm using my money to pay for a lot of this. And I thought about a credit card, but I think I'd rather go to Community Bank and just get a debit card that comes automatically out of the checking account. But I have to have approval to do that without you guys signing off ahead, you know what I mean, to make those purchases.
So then it would just show up on our list of stuff?
Yeah, and it would be in the bank account when anybody reconciles it, because it's an automatic debit, not a credit, you know what I mean?
Okay. But you don't need to get approval every time you use the card.
No, that's why I need approval from you guys to get a debit card and be able to use it, and then it'll be like an
Right.
ACH
Yeah.
with the state stuff, and it'll show everything. But when NEMRIC and the auditors come in and reconcile all of our books, it's gonna show everything coming straight out of the checking account instead of somewhere else, which is what I thought would be a better idea.
Makes sense. The
Yeah.
town boys got charges all over and you can't set it up at the post office.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, so that's why I said, you know, but I need you guys to tell me I can do that.
Okay.
and-
Do I have a motion that we authorize Emily to get a debit card for her use for town?
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Thank
Any more
you.
discussion? Thank you.
All right.
Use it
Okay.
wisely.
Yes.
Well, like I said, you guys will see everything because it comes straight out. Like,
Yeah.
there's, you
I got
can't.
one for the fire department.
Yeah, that's
A
what I
lot of
mean.
times. Like you say, you'll buy it with your money, and you gotta put it, and then people go, what's this? What's
Yeah, and then you're like,
that?"
well, why are you paying her this? And that's my
Yeah.
thing. And it's like, because now it's like everything now all of a sudden has to come through something like that. But you guys
Yeah.
will see it because it's going to come straight
Still,
out.
yeah, and
The
it-
auditors
it
are going to
comes
catch it
on
when they
your,
go through, or
Your
Yeah.
thing, your monthly statement.
yeah.
Well, that's good. Good.
Yeah, so no, I appreciate that, thank you. So my next thing is you guys all read the, so the ARPA funds, Northwest Access did send you guys the notice on, putting video equipment here. I just didn't know, you guys read through it, if you had any thoughts on it, or,
I didn't read through it.
Well, I read through it.
So they're just gonna bolt the camera up?
Well, if we pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So I-
And then
Or-
we click it on, or she's still driving up here to
And
click
then
it
she
on?
can come up, she's still gonna come up here either way you look at it,
I'll set up the camera. or-
yeah.
well, I thought-
But she's doing actually a
I
great
don't
job.
remember.
I thought if, you know, it was about $8,000, I think.
Right,
And I thought if we could use that money for something, no offense, but more useful to us as far as, I don't know if we can use it for anything else. If we can't use it for anything else, then, you know, that's fine, but if we could use it for other
Culverts
things,
and
culverts,
stuff, and-
things that the town needs, that to me would be a better use of our.
so just kind of wait it out and see
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nope, that's great. So on the digital things, when I asked you guys about digitizing records, I did get a hold of NEMRIC, because we already have a NEMRIC portal. They are not gonna charge us for the scanning
Oh,
and all of that stuff. But if I wanted to put them online, there is a separate portal they can hitch up to a computer here and have them online, but it's $1,200 a year to maintain that. But out of that $1,200, they charge the dollar per copy and give it back to us. I'm not saying it's gonna pay for the whole thing, but it keeps people in the COVID event from everybody filing in here. They can just go online, get the stuff that they want, and they pay NEMRIC, and NEMRIC pays us. We don't even have to deal with them.
oh,
So, I mean, that's one part of it. And then they actually gave me a record source, can come in here and digitize all of our records in the whole vault. And so it is gonna be like, to do everything is like $19,000. We did get our $90,000, but it gets us back to wherever we need to be. They're going to set it up, they can do everything. including set this portal up with Nemrick because they work with them. For that amount of money, we don't have to pay for the scanning. If we went with COTS or any of the other places, we could be like $2,000 to $4,000 a year is what we'd have to pay to do the same thing that Nemrick can offer for $1,200. So it's something to think about. You guys don't have to
So
decide.
could you do that, say that again, about the,
Read source?
Yes.
Okay, so we could scan all of our own records into Nemrick, but you'd have to take every single book apart and do it one by one page and everything else, which you'd have to hire somebody to do, obviously, and whatnot, and it's probably gonna take
All the time.
a lot of time and which is fine either way. We can do either one. But they can come in and do everything and get us right up to date to book 94. And then anything from there on out, we can do it ourselves, recording. Every time you record, you just scan and you do the indexing right there. And there's no extra charge for that because we already have the Nemrick Land Records module here.
so how much would that cost again?
19,000
$19,000.
for 95 books.
Not bad. That's money.
That's why I
We
said.
can do this with the free money.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I mean. They can get us up to date 100%. They just don't recommend that we do the indexing on the old books because somebody's going to go through each one of those. But they can be digitized so that we always have a copy of them, because most land researchers come in and they do a 40-year backup, which would put us at book 30. So they're going to index, which I have a lot of it done, which is saving us some money, from book 30 to book 95, where we're at, is all going to be indexed on the portal. The rest is basically for genealogy, which is okay.
95 books?
We have 95 books, which really isn't bad.
No.
Yeah. So like I said, you don't have to,
So it's a book every 2 years.
except for this past year, book 94 started in 2021, and we're on book 95 because of everybody refinancing or selling
Yeah.
because of the market right now. It's crazy. Yeah. That's why we don't have it completely indexed, because there's just so much of it right now, which is not a bad thing, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
So we don't have to make that decision tonight?
you can, yeah, you guys can wait because we have another meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
There, we have 3 in August. So,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I mean, like I said, it's something to think about,
Yeah.
but I think,
So the cost is
Oh, no.
$19,000.
and they can start in October, September, October, and
Okay.
get it all done before the end of the year. They said,
That's good.
yeah.
Okay. Because I think that's what I had in mind
We
when
should have
talking
another-
about the camera, TV camera and stuff, that if we had that $8,000, we could put it towards that.
Yeah.
And then do it, but I'm not sure if you can use that $8,000 whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant by being a little more useful for us than the camera. Since
Right,
the
right
camera's
now.
working really well, so that's.
Yeah, yeah.
Has anybody used it yet? Looked
Yeah,
at
actually,
it?
I have had some comments. People are actually watching, so
All
yes,
right,
it is good. So the town garage, Danny's not here, so any,
Well, I just think we need to get moving,
I know.
moving on
Yeah.
this thing.
Well, as materials are starting to come down,
Yeah.
we sort of put it at a standstill.
Right, right.
No need paying 100%
Yeah.
more than we would have for materials
Before.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So my thought to you guys was, because I've been thinking about this, is are we gonna hire an engineer, or do you think we should start looking at local people, because we're not getting very far with,
I talked to Joe, and, no, I didn't bring, I got their name, but Rainville's are the
That I
ones-
heard,
they-
I heard
they-
they're,
They
yeah.
built Franklin's.
Yeah,
You know, Franklin
they're
isn't
local.
quite the size we want, but
Yeah.
I took a quick look at it. I don't know what it looks like inside, but they did a good job. And Joe was doing some sheet rocking for Kermit. I said, tell Kermit if him and his boys are interested.
yeah,
If they
just
can
start
do it.
local, because they can still contract with anybody. They know how to get electricians
Yeah.
and, you know,
And,
the
you
cement
know,
people.
If we did it with those guys, we might need a design.
All right,
Well, I kind of like, I think we made a mistake in asking Diane what he wanted, because even that guy was kind of looking like, you know, but go in there, tell them we want a, 60 wide, 100 foot. Because what Franklin did, they got 2 trucks and a payloader, and I see they got 3 doors.
And we need at least
4 doors, yeah. So the 100 foot would do the 4 bays plus an office. Like
And
you
our
say.
septic's done, our water's done, or,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. The only other thing would be getting our permits, yeah. And I can give, what's his name there from Spots a call again. Tell him what we're thinking. 'Cause he said even if you just stuck a carrying beam, 1 or 2, instead of trying to have it all one great big wide open, he said that'll save you a lot of money. You don't have to beef everything up so much. So, out in the middle of the bays, yeah.
2 bays and 2 bays with a carrying beam in the
Yeah.
middle of
and
something.
so I don't see why that won't work. If it's gonna save us money, make a better building.
So, I mean, we just gotta narrow it down. Are we gonna do 4 bays and,
Well, yeah, we need to
the
go
office.
and tell them, okay, this is what we want.
yeah, this is what we're
And
gonna
no
do.
more like, like they say, when you build a house, you start changing, that's when the price of the house goes way up. You gotta have a plan and stick to it.
Okay,
Like he wanted the 16-foot doors. I think theirs is 16 foot high too. I see that they had the payloader out and back, and the pitch where it starts on the roof was about a foot or 2 higher than that. And if he can get the dumps up where you could, like he want to go all the way, but you got the safety bar, and if you go up any higher than that, if you pull a hole, that's gonna come down.
I know, but that's what they said, so most of your doors are 14 foot wide, but they said it's hard to back in. So
Yeah.
that's why they wanted to go
The
to
16,
16
yeah.
foot wide.
Yeah, because
So-
I think theirs are 16. I think Montgomery's are 16 wide.
Well, you definitely wanna go wider.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
16
you don't
wide.
mess. It's
Okay.
not, you'll have to fix the door jams and everything if you don't.
They still, you could see.
So tall
Franklin had
wise,
one
what did
of
we
theirs
say
too.
though? Wasn't it 20 feet
The height?
Or
Well,
what?
16 foot ceiling.
high too? Okay.
The ceiling's inside. And then I don't know what the peak,
Depends
can
on what you go
decide on
with
the
per
pitch.
roof, if
Yeah.
we don't, whatever, okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, see, I don't know. He wanted to do that one where like the snow would shoot off forward.
Commodity shed, like.
Yeah.
so if you
I don't
go,
like the looks of them. I don't know if it's
but
any good.
lengthwise, what was it lengthwise? Because they said they
100
wanted
foot long,
so
60
much
feet
behind
wide.
the trucks.
60 feet wide. Because at 50 feet, I went in that day and up in Montgomery, and they got 60 feet. So Mike pulled out the ruler, and if you're at 50 feet, you wouldn't have maybe 5 feet.
To put a bench with your tools.
Yeah, and then try to get around.
Okay,
So it's gonna have to be bigger than 50.
So we
60
can-
gives you another 10 feet.
Yeah.
so 60 length.
It'll
well,
be a
whatever.
garage built to last for a while,
Yeah.
Okay.
instead of what we got.
Well, I'm just saying, I do
Yeah,
have
well,
the
you don't
plans
do
over
that
there
one
for the other
many
garages
years
that I
ago.
can look at and just say, okay,
Yeah.
this is where we're at.
Same height ceiling, same like
Okay.
width of the door.
Okay, so no, that's 4 bays,
Like you say,
kind of come up with
I know,
something.
what was that guy's Thayer there? He said, like say, if we put some beams in there, it'd save us a lot of money, so. It won't bother, it shouldn't bother them any.
So you said the people who built Franklin's were Rainville?
Yeah, I got their names and their number.
Yeah, because Ed said that they actually do a lot of that
Would they
stuff.
be
He
a
was giving me
person-
some
would we
names of
still need to get
contractors
a-
that are local.
Engineer to design it, or can they?
No, they can do
I
it.
don't know, yeah.
Well, yeah,
So should we ask them or get in touch with them?
Yeah, I can call
If they're
them and
local.
see,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
because Danny had said about getting in touch with,
Then there's Kermit, I don't know, they did Jimmy's,
but,
It
yeah,
looks
so, but
okay.
no, like, definitely start somewhere, it's,
and then we could, like say, I could call Spates, I don't know. He didn't seem overly interested in it.
wasn't big enough probably.
Well, I think they had a lot of business. Everybody was really busy.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I don't know, Joe says Kermit, well, he's working on his house, plus he
He's
has
got his
two-
own, yeah.
Two other houses he's working on, so, you know, he's quite busy,
Yeah.
It's good.
So-
That's a start.
yeah.
Well, the nice thing about it, the way we're building it, it doesn't really, it's not like we're tearing one down to build the other one.
No, we're
Yeah.
gonna build the other one, then,
Yeah,
yeah.
tear it down.
So the only thing next, Vince, is the junk ordinance, and I think that's you.
Junk removal.
Yes, and we've had some complaints from people.
Well, I shouldn't say the last thing, because I do
Oh,
have one more.
We've had some complaints from people about junk. One of the complaints was from someone who was, I'm not gonna mention any names, but they were complaining about their tenant had a lot of junk and they're trying to evict the person. And they thought maybe that the town or the health officer would go in and help. And I said, you know, health officers, that's not the job of the health officer to get in between the landlord and the tenant. And it's not garbage that's there, it's
Clutter.
junk.
Yeah.
Clutter, junk. And then we were looking into it a little bit more, just driving around without going into people's driveways. I noticed that one of the people that was complaining, they have just as much, if not more, than their tenant. So I said, well, you know, this is the pot calling the kettle black, or whatever it is. So I did read through the junk ordinance, and the junk ordinance, as it was signed and written in '08, is says that the select board is responsible for enforcement of the junk ordinance. It's called the civil ordinance regulating outdoor storage of junk and junk vehicles. The big complaint with these two cases that I talked about are junk vehicles, just piling up, one more so than the other. And the select board can give a 30-day letter asking the person, tenant, to clean it up in 30 days. If they don't clean it up in 30 days, then the select board can issue tickets.
And we do have
Fines.
those, the judicial
Yep.
tickets.
And it's, what it says, it's abandoned junk or two or more junk vehicles in place. So you can have like 2 junk vehicles, but no more than that. And if you had more vehicles, they had to be registered, so they're just not junk and stuff. And as I was reading it, I don't know, I read that, because it talked about having a enforcement officer. But the select board can be the enforcement officer.
It used to be Ed,
Okay.
but he's no longer on the board, so nobody's ever appointed anybody else, just so you know.
It can be a $250 per violation per day, if each day the violation continues and stuff. And
But if they don't pay it, you have to go to court.
So that's where we're at, as far as the junk ordinance goes. And it's like, I think we could maybe start sending letters to at least the 2 that we know of right now. But they're driving here. I passed like 3 places that we could send letters to. One of them, I think I'm gonna send a letter because of the health officer, because they have bags and bags of garbage just piling up and stuff, and that's a health ordinance.
But did you remind these guys that it doesn't fall on the tenants, it falls on
the land, yeah.
on the owner of the land, so
You have to go contact the land.
it falls back on the landowner, even if you can say, can you help my tenants clean up? You're the one responsible for that junk.
And they're supposed to set up, according to the regulations, the landowner needs to set up a plan with their tenant when the garbage has to be removed, like every week or every 2 weeks, something like that. It doesn't say that the person that owns the property has to pay for that. They just have to set up something with their tenant to get it done, rather than just have it pile it up. And it concerns me in some ways, just because the people that live there and stuff, I don't know how healthy it is, but.
A dump truck full of garbage on the way here.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. I was trying to picture it, I just pictured it.
Yeah, it's,
And they're little kids there. So it's like,
Lots of them, and they're little,
Yeah.
little, little.
well, we had that problem years ago, kind of across the street from there. And at that point, Virginia and I went to this house because.
Is that
neighbors-
when Jody got off done being this?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
And we
Sure.
went to the house because people complained about the odor coming out of the house. And Virginia and I walked in and it was just cages and cages of all kinds of animals. I mean, dogs and cats and rabbits in all the rooms. And we went into you really had to force yourself to go through into the kitchen, or what was the kitchen. And there were goats in the kitchen. And it's like, okay. But there was a door that went out from the kitchen into the backyard where there was a fenced-in area, but the goats were coming in and out and stuff. And we contacted, and there happened to be a young kid living there. I think he was only 14, 15. And so I did contact the health department, and they said, well, you know, he's old enough. The child is old enough. He's
Over
not a
the age of
baby.
12.
Over the age of 12.
Yep.
And if somebody wants to live like that, that's their
Their
prerogative.
decision, yeah.
Yeah.
They said it would be different if it was a baby, like crawling around and stuff, but it's like, okay. So that kind of discouraged me in Virginia, that one. But this is not that bad, this one. So I think,
You haven't been in the house yet?
no. So I don't know. But the junk, I'm not sure what to do about that one with the cars and stuff, but we can set.
So do we want to start like saying that we're going to send like initial letters out and see where we go with some people?
We put a reminder in the town report this year,
Okay.
Yeah.
so they aren't shocked, and they
Right,
do
right.
know we got a junk
Yeah,
ordinance.
yeah, see, I don't think.
And then some of the landowners and stuff, like my boss, he doesn't like very many used cars in front of the,
Uh-huh.
like
Oh,
the
that's
tenants
good.
across the
Yeah.
road. Yeah,
Yeah.
if there's too many cars, he
Yeah.
tells them,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Reminder to clean
so
up.
that might freshen their memories, and some of the landowners might say, hey,
Yeah.
we gotta
Well,
get this
he's-
out of here.
He's
Bring it."
renting the land near there. Actually, isn't he renting the farm? I don't think he is, actually. Okay. So,
Okay, so my last thing is as you talk
you.
to the zoning administrator
Yes.
about this certificate of compliance,
Oh, yeah.
she did type it up and I did take a look at it. I'm not sure if you did or not.
She just read it to us.
Okay, no, which is fine because I told her, well, I asked her to add the book and page so that if we needed this for bank certification, we don't want people paying $64 for something they can't use for the bank as well. The only thing that I'm not sure that we really need to check on, and I will call Northwest Regional Planning, is because it says certificate of compliance, use and occupancy. We don't do occupancy compliance, so I don't know if that says that means we have to go out and check the codes that nobody in the town of Berkshire is authorized to do. So other than that, I don't see anything wrong with this write-up.
Well, the last line, compliance with all the conditions and requirements of the Berkshire zoning regulations.
Relations, right.
Site inspection. So what is she going to site inspect? Just where the building is?
So this is my next thing, because she was going out to inspect, so I said, we really need to let folks know before you go out there. And she said, I'm not getting out of my car, so I don't need to send them a letter. So it's kind of up to you guys, so what are we doing?
Now, on the phone, she did tell me she did go somewhere and somebody went with her. Now, I can't remember who went with her.
That was, Russ Ford did
Oh,
go
Russ.
up here because they were trying to measure a house on the Reservoir Road because it looked like it was too close to the road. They did go out and measure, and it was definitely more than within the standard size. So I'm just saying, you know, like if you're going out there to check them, I don't know if you want to check with her and see what she's checking, or if we should be sending letters to people ahead of time to let them know that you're even driving in their driveway to look at their house. I don't know.
Well, I think Andy had said before, I think you should let them know you're coming.
At least say
Yeah,
I'm coming on
Monday.
Monday morning.
Especially in this day and age with all
We would
the
call them and,
scams and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, which is fine. I can let her know that, because there's no reason you can't just mail a letter out this Monday, say I'm coming next Monday. And I'm just driving in the driveway, I'm just gonna take a look, I'm not, but give people the option to say, no, I'd rather be there when you do it.
Now, is it not because she said it was a new regulation or something? No?
I don't know.
Well, but I said, well, there must be a template somewhere that somebody has, and she couldn't get a hold of the regional planning or other people that she told
Okay,
me.
no, I'll try tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll call them, I'll send this to them.
Because you'd want me to have it uniform because some people
Yeah.
might be doing a couple of things at different towns. So they want to
Right,
have
and
the
like I
same
said,
thing.
you know, being an occupancy is one thing we don't, but this could just mean, you know, it could just be vague and I don't know, but,
Yeah.
so, okay,
Check it
I'll
out,
call
okay.
regional planning tomorrow and shoot this at them and see what they have to say. And we will let her know to send letters ahead of time.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, nope, perfect. And that's all I have, if anybody else, oh, no, I don't.
Uh-oh.
Which this is really nothing but more than GE shares.
Oh, reverse split.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? Sign
If-
it and send it?
I don't know, my company just doesn't, but, so for every 8
The
shares, you're gonna
select board
get
has to
one.
sign off,
So we
yeah,
own some shares?
we do, but we only get like $15 every 3 or 4 months.
You don't own.
But I've never seen that, you know, like it's always just rolled through and we've never had to do anything before, so. But it's the same thing, it's split shares and they said you needed to fill out that form.
So you own the shares, not through a holding company, right through?
Yeah, it's for the cemeteries.
Oh.
Florence Gibson years ago left money through the GE shares for 2 of the cemeteries and we just send them the money every year.
So there's just notifying that they've split.
That's what I mean, so I'm thinking that we just fill it out and send it because I don't, they said
get around-
lost shares, but
Must be
I,
around 400 shares.
yeah, so I'm
Well,
thinking
what
we
is
haven't lost any because
Right.
we still get
What's their
money.
stock worth today?
It's $100 and something dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pay for like 150 or something.
Yeah.
So
It's
mine,
split 3-way.
Now they're
I do-
splitting it
they're
8
around
ways
10
or
or 12,
something.
they're 12 something when they split.
I hung on to it.
I got them and I was tempted,
I sold mine.
I should have just,
They-
I
they-
We
almost sold them
can't
and
sell
took a
them because
loss.
they're not ours, they're for
Yeah.
the cemetery, so I'll just fill it out then,
They,
'cause
they went way down.
Yeah, just fill it out, must be they just wanna make sure.
You got
that it's okay,
notified.
to because they've switched from GE to actually something else
When I
right
bought
now.
them, they said
Yeah.
that was the safest
Yeah,
stock you could buy. And
They
Now
got
it's
into too
going
much.
yeah, yeah.
They got into financing and
Yeah.
instead of sticking to
Okay.
what you do good.
all right, no, that's fine, because like I said, I
They're
read
actually
through it,
making
but,
good earnings and stuff right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So
this
no-
was,
I don't see it in my dividends.
I kept them like, I kept them 10 or so years and then I finally, Jeff,
Nope,
you
that's
really
all I
wanna
had,
sell them?
man.
I said, yeah, you know, been 10 years, they ain't come back yet. So,
Anybody else have anything? Like to share, say, complain? Any complaints?
yeah.
Good, all is good? So do I have a motion to close?
Yeah.
Second.
Any
Thank you.
discussion?
Yeah.
Meeting is closed. And our
I
next
know,
meeting
my
will be,
goodness.
I can't see.
Today's the 30th?
It's gonna
Today's
be,
the 16th, right?
yep, the 30th.
Okay.